All right, welcome to the Muscle Maturity Podcast, episode 93. I am here with 1983 Mr. Olympia, Samir Bannout, and Marcus Guerrero from Old School Labs, and I am John Hansen. And today, guys, we are going to be reviewing the Arnold Classic, which took place last weekend. First big show of the year. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good. It was very exciting. Even I wasn't there, but
Yeah,
I was following everything, online but now I like to see you were there.
yeah,
So you're gonna give us your real input because eyewitness is always a little bit better.
yeah. Yeah,
So
I thought it was a great show. It was a very exciting show. The expo was huge. I mean, I know the expo was a little down after COVID, but man, we went on Saturday and it was packed. I mean,
packed.
packed. You couldn't even move. Friday was much more
Wow.
manageable, but Saturday was just crazy. A
Insane, yeah.
lot of young kids. So a lot of young people really getting into fitness, I guess. I mean, they were definitely there at the Arnold Classic this weekend. But yeah, the show was very exciting. They gave Mike Katz the Lifetime Achievement Award, Samir. So that
Very
was really cool
nice.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. I like Mike and he deserved it.
Yeah.
He deserved it. I mean, not as a winner of competition, but he's really he bring back the history from pumping iron, and he's
Yeah.
really, Mike was a football player, right?
Yeah. With the New
Back
York
in the
Jets.
days, with
Hmm.
New York Jets, yeah, and pumping iron, all the stuff they did. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
They
cool.
showed a lot of clips from Pumping Iron when they gave him the award. So that was cool to see him.
Did you say hi to him? Did you get to see
I
him?
wanted to, but I didn't see him. I saw his son after the contest and I said hi
Okay,
to him. His son was actually carrying around that plate. So his dad must have went to bed,
okay,
I guess.
very nice, very nice. Yeah, he looked. Is he in good health, John? I don't know. I mean, how did he look to you?
Yeah, he looks older, but he's got to be about 80 now. I think he's a couple years older than Arnold, right?
I think older than 80. I think he's probably mid 80 right now.
Oh, mid 80. Okay, because I know
Probably.
Arnold will be 78 this year, so I think Mike's like 2 years
Yeah,
older than him. I guess.
he's around Frank Zane age. I think Zane is about what 82 now,
Yeah, I think so.
83.
Or I think
Yeah.
he'll be. Yeah, I think he'll be 83. I think you're right. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Well,
That was good.
let's talk about the contest. I thought Derek was a really good winner. I think this was the best he ever looked, even better than when he won the Olympia 2 years ago. And
Thank you.
congratulations to Derek, because I mean, I don't think anybody thought he was going to pull this off after taking third at the Olympia. But I mean, what a comeback! He came in, he went in, he was taking a risk going in, and he pulled it off. He looked better than ever, and he beat the reigning Mr. Olympia. So, man, what a
I
great
I
victory!
told you, John. I predicted it, and I told you when many times I've been saying this when Derek comes in with this kind of quality. And honestly, I'm not gonna bullshit everyone here, but the minute he went with Chris Aceto, and I know he's safe. I mean, we know Hani Ramboyd is a great coach, but I felt with Chris Aceto, I'm pretty sure he'll be still on the safe side. It may not be the same kind of coaching, but I know the finished product will be ready.
Yeah,
So, and I felt like with Chris, it wasn't a bad decision at all. And I've always, if you remember, I said I put my money in Derek. Not to say, uh, Samson. I'm very impressed with Samson always, and it's not going to be walk in the park for Derek in the future
right.
because looking at the guys and looking how beautiful, talking about Samson. Samson is huge but beautiful at the same time. I mean,
Hmm.
his body flows really, really good. And I think was additional 5% quality, a little bit more quality, Jean. I think then I won't bet on it because I know it's these two guys going to be the final two at the Olympia, in my opinion.
Well, really, it's like four-man battle now because you got these two, plus you got Hottie, and you can't forget Andrewjacked too.
Oh well, you know what? Hardy better bring in another high quality. Hardy need to improve right now too.
Yeah,
So Hardy did not face Derek in that condition. And
right.
the minute I saw the first photo of Derek, and I told my friends, guess what? Derek won right away.
Yeah, Yeah.
because I knew 100% that Samson wasn't going to be etched to the bone. Based on that, I kind of figured it that the only way Samson going to beat Derek in condition is when he is in top condition.
Yeah.
So I think his condition was beautiful. And yeah, to some people, it would have gone either way. But the sophisticated guys that follow the sport, we always look at that extra quality. So Derek had that more defined, like we say, the onion skin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would say. Like the first thing I thought when I saw Derek was he looked polished. He was
Yes.
big, he was cut, he was full. He had that polished look that I don't remember ever seeing on him before.
And complete, John.
Yeah,
He's no weaknesses on these
his
both
legs
guys.
weren't weak. His legs, he brought his
Both,
legs up a lot from the Olympia.
that's why I'm looking at both of them. Again, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying he won like by a walk in the park. It was an easy win. It wasn't an easy win. It wasn't. I mean, I'm telling you, if Samson improved a little bit, from my perspective, he could. If he bring in that paper thin skin, then I won't bet. So all bet is off for me because it's going to go either way at the next element. And also, Hadi Chopin is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And Hadi better bring in a better package too.
Yeah.
So,
well,
know what? I'm impressed, by the way. I'm impressed with the return of, what's his name? Samson was good. Huh? Andrew was good. I mean, Andrew was very good. But again, I was going to talk about, what's his name? Number 4. Who came in fourth again?
Brandon
Curry.
Brandon. Yes. I was going to say, sorry. I was like, didn't even kick the name in my head quickly, but Brandon looked really good. I was very impressed. I never expected Brandon to come in that condition. Really was impressive.
Well, I think this footage we're watching here, I think this was from Friday night. And if you see Samson from the front, Samson looked his abs look watery. He's definitely got the size. He's gigantic. He's huge. And he's got, like you said, Samir, he's got great shape. But to me, his abs looked watery. And I actually could have saw him in third on Friday night. Now look at it when he does his ab shot. You could see what I'm talking about.
I get why you'd say that on Friday night between Andrew and Samson.
Yeah. I thought, not to be too hard on Samson, but I thought the same thing with the Olympia last year. On Friday, I thought Samson was huge, but again, the abs looked watery to me. And by Saturday at the Olympia, he had really improved a lot, and he looked like the winner. And I thought the same thing here. He looked much better on Saturday, and it was really close between him and Derek, or closer between him and Derek on Saturday than it was on Friday.
You know how you become watery, Jean? More watery?
How?
By over looking at dehydration. You want to dehydrate more, but sometimes it works the opposite way.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you lose too much water, it's not the way to go. You just have to do it right. Basically, whatever Chris did was Derek, I think they did a very good job. I mean, I never seen his legs came up. I saw more striation in Derek than before. And so, I mean, get Samson to have that kind of quality. I think, wow, it's scary.
Yeah, I talked to Chris, and Chris said he had Derek on the keep his legs diet, which means that Derek's always got the huge legs, but they just dieted him slowly. Like 4 weeks out, Derek wasn't ready. And I remember when he posted pictures 4 weeks out, and everybody was like, well, he's off. He's never going to make it. Well, he was off, yeah, but it was 4 weeks out. It wasn't the contest. So they slowly brought him down, but they didn't bring him down too fast, and they didn't overtrain him. And then he didn't lose his legs because he's got huge legs. If you ever see Derek in the off season, he's got gigantic.
They look good.
Yeah.
From the side, they look really
sharp.
So
they just didn't lose them. He gave him enough calories to get him ripped, but not enough. They didn't deplete him too much where he lost everything like he did last year.
I think that's what's really stole the show for him was Derek's legs, especially the separation from the sides. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely still has room to like grow into the Olympia, like as far as the legs as well, to match the upper body. But this is like, to me, one of the best Derek's we've seen. And from that side shot, it's where you can really see the distance between the conditioning, just the separation from compared to Samson and Andrew and Brandon. I mean, all four of them, they're not
Yeah.
touching that separation in that side, the side chest, side tricep, what you see in those legs. It's pretty nutty.
Yeah. So if we look at the score sheet, oh yeah, let's watch this too. So this was the last call out. I'm sure this was
I
Saturday.
mean,
Yeah,
look at
because
both
you
of them
can see it.
complete jump.
I mean, I feel like
Both are
Samson came in
complete.
so much better on Saturday
He
compared
did.
to where I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I wouldn't argue against anybody who had him winning Saturday, but I do feel like the margin between the two on Saturday was so thin compared to on Friday. Derek, it was I don't want to say lights out because it wasn't, but it was clear. There was a polish there. There was just something there that nobody else had on that stage.
On Derek.
The body can change.
On
The
Derek,
body can
yeah.
change in a matter of hours. The body can change within an hour. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, you know what I also like? I like the way Samson hit the poses. I like the flow of Samson's body.
Mm-hmm.
The symmetry of Samson is beautiful. And yeah, I think, the presentation, to me, the presentation of Samson is
Yeah, you
the
could
best
see
one
how
of
much
all of
better
them,
his
really.
abs looked there on Saturday than on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Samson he posed really like a pro. I mean, I know they gave the best poser to Derek, but if I was there, I would give the best poser to Samson. Don't get at me, Derek. We need some more work. The body was right on the money. The posing needs to be improved a little bit.
I think the
So
best poser was Andrewjacked.
I didn't see Andrewjacked posing, but if I look at every pose, John, let's say in a double bicep, he's the right way. He's posing the right way. Samson hitting every pose correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Derek is not doing it right with his legs right here. The body, I'm not talking about the body here. I'm talking about the poses. You see, look at the side chest now. I think Samson doing it in a better way. The way he's hitting the pose is more correct. Maybe, of course, Derek looks sharper, more striated. But again, you see the legs on the bottom. I would make something different with Derek.
And it's crazy to see the size difference between the two. Like in that shot, in the back shot, when you look down at the legs, even though Derek's is more polished, there's a huge size discrepancy between these two guys. To where in person, I'd imagine it's even easier to see.
I give the pose to Samson, the pose, not the quality, the pose. But the quality,
just the pose.
Derek is ahead. But the pose, come on,
Yeah, I think.
he moved gracefully.
I mean, I agree with you on Samson. He's got an incredible physique, but he's got to learn how to dial it in, man. We haven't seen the best Samson yet.
No, we have not. And guess what? From my perspective, I know he can bring that. He can. But his body whatever he done in the past couple years before, it kind of affected his skin. His skin thickness has gotten a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's something to do with his skin. It's not water. It's not. So, I mean, it's not body fat. We know it's not fat. He dieted his ass off.
Right. Well, it can't be body fat because he's so much better on Saturday.
No, it's not. It's just something to do. He need to fine tune the final 72 hours. He need to do that.
Yeah.
And I know his lovely wife is great, and they're a great team. But just like you said, Jean, he just need to bring that extra 5-7% additional quality. If he does, Lord have mercy.
So, Samir, you said something earlier that was it seemed like you were saying like Derek kind of is the like when you put Derek against Samson, not at this show, just in general, who has the higher ceiling to you? You said something that made it seem like you lean towards Derek.
And when
like
who would to the physique wise?
Yeah, like so as far as future wise, next 3 years, who has the brighter future? Who do you think has the higher ceiling?
Oh, wow. You know what? I would say it's equally the same, honestly. They both are incredible. If you ask me what physique would I want, See, I would take either or, but the bottom line is who is going to bring the ready product on stage? So if they're both ready, oh my God, it's going to be crazy. This is going to be hard to judge. But again, the overwhelming mass on Samson, the shoulder to waist ratio is incredible. But from my perspective, I see certain things that need to be altered, a little bit changed. And we have to go, we need to target quality. What John was saying is correct. I mean, I know his body is just as beautiful, and probably a little more beautiful for his height. You know, I mean, Derek is compact. It's like Derek is compact. On Samson, on Samson is like, it's impressive, man. He's what, 6'2", 6'1",
So much better flow.
I think 6'1".
Yeah, I mean, Samson's body is beautiful to look at, and they gave him the most muscular. But, I don't agree with this position. Again, whoever allowed this position to take place with the arm like that, it's wrong. It's very wrong. And it's someone who is accepting this position does not know. He's not from within. Okay? You could ask Zane, he'll tell you the same thing. But when Derek starts posing, then you would see everything else look good. But some of the poses that Derek does, I don't agree with. I don't agree with every pose. And yes, he won the best poser. Again, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to kiss ass. I like Derek body and I always said Derek would win. But again, I think the best posing should go to Samson. I wasn't there. Now you told me Andrewjacked was the best poser. So I don't know. I want to see Andrewjacked posing routine, which I didn't see.
It was amazing. He did like what Cedric McMillan did years ago, came out with the blindfold and kept the blindfold on the whole time.
No, John, there's a posing to entertain, and there's a posing to show the body properly.
Yeah,
when you come to showing the body properly, Samson hands down one.
Yeah, you're talking.
I thought that was confusing. The best posing. I thought it was confusing that because when I thought of the best pose, meaning the posing routine poser, I thought Andrew was going to win it hands down. However, if how you're talking about it, best poser, I agree, Samson. As far as actual posing, but I was confused that night. Whenever Derek won, I was like, "How does Derek win this?"
No, Marcus, I hear you, and I hear Jean. I think entertaining pose probably yes. It was probably the most entertaining and pretty to look at. But when it comes to show the body in a professional way, hit every pose properly, Samson was the leader there for sure.
Yeah.
But then, you have the transition and this pose, you see it's wrong. The legs are wrong. The setup is wrong. Okay? No disrespect. I love his body, but see, I don't like the setting of the foot. The foot placing is wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of mistake in the pose, but walking with some of the poses, I don't agree with. If you want to know who's the best poser in the whole weekend, then you have to go to Logan Franklin. Logan was the best poser in the whole contest. But entertaining-wise, yeah, John, I agree with you. He did something exciting for the audience. Yeah, he did some stuff that is actually showed muscle in a different way. But I'm talking bodybuilding where, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being elegant in every pose.
Well, it was good to see this from Andrew because at the Olympia, he was
wrong. You see, placing of the legs wrong, John.
See, I think he even did a little thing at the end where he was like, "I'm not done." He did a split.
Right? Yeah, because I think they cut his music.
You see it wrong. The pose is wrong. The pose is wrong. The pose doesn't look right. The legs placing doesn't look right.
Right.
The toes sitting like that is wrong.
Right.
I'm just telling you what I know.
Yeah.
Only after 50 years in the game. The placing of the feet is wrong. Wait. I don't know. You could do whatever you want here, but honestly, I'm not.
The subtle pause was everything on that one.
honestly, the pose is wrong.
Right.
And look at his stomach. He let his stomach go. His waist is usually on the smaller side. See,
Yeah, you're
look
right.
at the middle.
You can work on the technical details.
So you bring sometime when you do that, John, trying to put on act for the audience, all your flaws could be shown, could be seen.
Yeah.
The proper way to pose, if you look at Frank Zane, there's no mistake
Right.
in every way he does it. There's no mistake. If you look at Makawi, the way he does, there's no mistake. Look at the middle here on Andrewjacked. The pose is wrong. The middle, not good. Well, he's trying, but I'm not buying his posing as a professional. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like on Friday night, both Andrew and Samson, or I saw at different times having issues with I think they got a little winded after posing for a while because I could see the stomach area wasn't being held in as much, especially when Derek was sitting there pretty, he was crisp. He was, tight, polished the whole time, kept his stomach in on stage at all hours, it seemed like. So I noticed that Friday night, and then Saturday night got a little better. But going to the question, John, if you could answer, who do you think out of those two? I know you probably would say Andrew, but I don't want to add Andrew into the mix. I just want just with those two because that's what this show kind of became about, sadly. But just have those two guys, Samson and Derek. Who do you think has the higher ceiling per se as far as a bodybuilder? Olympia wins, winner, things like that. Who has the better, chances?
Well, Samson's a bigger guy, so I guess you could say he's got more potential because he's taller. He's got more mass. But I was, just so impressed with Derek this last weekend, how he brought it all together. If you look at Derek and Samson's got more of a taller, more symmetrical physique. Even though he's got all that mass, he's still very symmetrical. Like Samir said, he's got a beautiful physique. Like when he stands in the front, he's got those flared legs. He's got the nice caps on his shoulders, huge chest. And Derek's got more outstanding body part. His back is just insane. It's just like a shocking body part. It's so big. And then when he does his front double bicep, he's got that incredible V taper, because nobody's got lats like Derek from the front. So it's kind of two different physiques. One's more of a showstopper physique. One's more of a symmetrical physique,
And who was the most symmetrical in your opinion at the Olympia stage?
At the
Olympia
stage?
my opinion already. Yeah, of the big boys. Who was the most symmetrical?
Probably Samson, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you. Samson looks beautiful. Honestly, if Samson gets shredded, he will qualify for classic. He's massive at shoulders to waist ratio. I love his body. He's a pretty body. Samson has a pretty body. And you know what I tell
Just
people?
got to figure out that peaking protocol for Friday night.
You know what I said, John?
Yeah.
There's
I felt like
always
he came in that way
sunshine.
on Friday.
There's always sunshine behind the clouds. When the sun shines completely on Samson, I'm telling you, unbelievable. Again.
Well, just the fact that he improved his condition on Saturday and he was 1 point behind Derek. I mean, that just goes to show you,
Yeah.
But I said, based on condition alone, I could have seen him in third Friday night because he was I thought way off, especially compared to Andrewjacked, who was pretty.
If you're talking about condition,
days.
So based on condition, John, that you would probably give him third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then explain to me, how did Logan Franklin end up second? And his condition was awesome, and he was shredded. He was more classical. I'm not saying, bad things about Mike Badass, which I think Mike Badass is a beautiful body.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. He looks more like bodybuilder, but Logan was more classical. He posed really pretty. He was striated like hell, separated. He's missing nothing. I mean, I could have gone. I'm was leaning toward the quality of Logan, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought. First of all, I thought that was by far the best Logan ever looked. I never saw. He got bigger and he was shredded. So that was his definite peak. I've never seen him that good, and he passed by a lot of guys that everybody thought was going to do better than him.
Yeah.
So he really moved up. That was the highlight of his career so far.
Unbelievable.
But Mike, he does look more like a bodybuilder because he's got so much more thickness. He's got huge legs.
Yes.
He's got huge
thicker
back.
in the chest.
Yeah, but he does have a small waist, and when he poses, he poses very classical. He's a really good poser. And Logan is a great poser too. But you can see here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Logan's more longer, more leaner. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he's got. If you look at classic, the classic look. I think Logan has more of the classic look.
Yeah, and look at the glute, the depth of the the intercostal, the intercostal, the chest, the separation. Look at the
Yeah.
glute. I mean, he was etched out of rock and pleasing to look at.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? Mike is very good too, but he looked more bodybuilder than Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put 10 pounds on Logan with that same quality. Holy shit. I mean, it'd be like scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you,
He's
somebody
gonna put
said
on.
when Arnold was watching Logan pose, he was like clapping every pose.
Wow.
Yes, me too. I was watching, I'm like been talking to Logan throughout, and every day we talk and stuff like that. I'm very impressed with what he did. He's very passionate, and finally he put it together, and he did not touch any dumb things. Final second where he did in the past, he flat now. He's always in shape, but this time he loaded the right way, and he knew exactly how to deal with water without having to flatten out like he did in the past under some coaches.
Yeah,
So,
he looked bigger than I've ever seen him, but he was shredded.
yeah,
Like that side tricep pose was awesome.
Yeah.
he
The
filled
amount of
up
muscle you
properly,
see
John.
is pretty crazy. And the conditioning was
He
just
filled up.
nobody
he
touched
filled
him.
up. He filled up the right way. He did everything intelligently this time. So there was no doubt in my mind that he's like 100% on the money. I mean, if Mike was like a little bit smaller, Derek would have won. I mean, Logan would have won. So
going off of
and Mike was the heavy favorite going in because he just took second to Bumstead, and a lot of people thought he even had Bumstead beat, at the night show. So
Logan did something.
Logan to make it close was really good,
And I think Logan is still being punished for something that one time he walked away from a competition and they got mad at him. But I mean, look, for me, okay, it could have gone either way, but based on classical quality and performance, I think Derek had the edge. I'm sorry, I mean Logan. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Logan had the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought it was going to go that way too, Samir. So, but I mean, either one could have won. But yeah, I thought just based on having more of a classical look, I thought Logan was going to win it.
100%. Yeah.
And I totally like I'm with bringing that up. The fact of why did Derek win and Logan not win? As far as like if we're going by the same criteria, from classic to men's open. But I do like I'm curious as far as to like. So when we talk about classic bodybuilding, right? And from y'all's vantage point, I thought it was more so like it's bodybuilding. It doesn't, it's bodybuilding. So, and as, John kind of alluded to, Mike definitely holds that veil nicely. He looks like, especially when he presents himself very classic. So why do we draw that line? Why do we look at Mike as if, he's not as classic when he clearly presents himself as classic?
I think people say that because Mike's so thick. Because he's so thick, he looks like a bodybuilder. I mean, his back is like Franco, and he's got huge legs.
I don't even know. It was bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like it was considered bodybuilding back in the day. Like I know, like that we talked about that. Like I think one of y'all mentioned that last week that y'all only knew it wasn't classic bodybuilding; it was bodybuilding back in the day. So it's
these guys are bodybuilders too, in my opinion. I mean, classic is bodybuilding,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So trying to make it like as if Mike doesn't necessarily, like he's not classic to me has always been like a weird thing to say because he presents himself as classic. He is classic. You know what I mean? He's going into Olympia as one of the favorite, followed by probably people like Logan as well. He's probably been winning, being second place to Arnold. He should be the second favorite. But I just always didn't understand that as far as like, calling them classic or not when it's like, if they meet the requirements.
Marcus, the judges just went in for a little bit additional mass. He had more mass than Logan. So you have some of the judges, they're like, he's got more mass, but you know what? I mean, for me, it's not always who's the most massive. If we know who's the most massive, then probably it would go to Samson. Derek was more ripped than Samson. That's why Derek won. And so in that case, I would say, like Jean and I say, it could have gone either way, but I still have the additional edge to Logan. Logan had the edge in the pretty striated body. And by the way, I would like to see Mike's arm to get bigger too. His arm could be
Yes.
bigger yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
His arm is not big enough. He needs
Right,
another
huge
an
legs.
inch or so.
Huge
His
legs.
legs are huge. His lats are good. He poses very, very good. He's got a pretty body,
I tell you, these classic guys are good. I watched the prejudging from the front row, and top 5 were incredible.
Yeah. So
Wesley was way off.
Yeah, but the thing is with Wesley, I like see him always showing his shoulder striation, arm, but in the competition, you got to show the whole body. It's like I think he's got a void area from here to here, long torso, and it seemed to affect him a little bit when he stand on stage, even though he's a lot taller. He's like, what, 6'2"? This guy's tall.
Yeah, he's real tall. Yeah.
So everybody said, oh, he didn't peak properly. But you know what? When you stand on stage with more symmetrical body and more put together body, then we can see your flaws. If we are in the gym and you're going like that, and then you could see that he's like really sharp and edge. And so, but all that not needed. When you're on stage, we see the whole package. So it was easily Mike and Logan, the front runner right away.
Yeah.
And who else was really good there too, Jean?
Matt Grego.
I love his body.
Yeah.
By the way, I love his body. The position, look, the only one who's standing properly is Logan. This opening the arm is no. Look at how Logan stands. So Logan, he doesn't do that motorcycle crap. See? Logan did it right. I would have, So anyway, congratulations to Mike. But what's his name? The Grego guys.
Matt Grego, yeah.
He's a badass. He's gonna be really, really good. Eventually, he's good already, but he needs to be a little bit sharper. Yeah.
He was doing men's physique like 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
I saw him at the New York show, and he was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think Chris Aceto's helping him, right?
Yeah, Chris is helping him, and he's Derek's training partner.
Yeah, look at how much sharper. Look at Logan's. You see how striated his shoulders. He have that additional 7-8% sharpener hardness and tighter. Look at that.
Yeah,
it's clearly visible.
Yeah.
Just imagine Samson getting that kind of quality, right?
Yeah. Or
Samson get that quality.
Imagine any of them.
The quality that Derek had this last weekend.
If Samson get that rip, I'm sorry, but nobody gonna beat him. Nobody. I'm just saying it like it is. I'm not offending anybody, but
no, I know. I agree.
Samson is a bad to the bone, man.
Yeah.
So there has to be a way, and I know there's a way, but whatever he's doing now should be discussed with someone that understand shredding and how to get that skin a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
And it's related to some of the things he's doing, obviously. And it can be corrected, man. For all I know, Jean, you are 60 years old, and you look better than ever in your past show. You showed us more quality, didn't you, Jean? I think you were incredible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you were bad back then, but you still had the ability to bring in sharper body, and you were literally cut up.
Yeah.
We all saw that. So Samson can really bring that onion skin. I swear he can. He can. But, he need to fine-tune whatever, but he need to find the right person to help him with that. And it's not that complicated.
So what do you guys think about Samson being Mr. Olympia, and then he goes in the Arnold, and now he loses? So he was really only Mr. Olympia like 4 months. Well, he's still Mr. Olympia. I shouldn't say that. Yeah. But he did lose a contest. How do you think that affects his standing at the Olympics?
He's still Mr. Olympia to me.
Yeah.
He's still incredible to me. And you know what? Look at Derek wasn't ready. What did Derek end up 4th place? So
Third.
Now we know Samson gonna get more ready. So when Samson's more ready, I'm telling you, I'm not betting him. I always put Derek as a favorite, and you know that. Look at all the former, all the podcasts that we did in the past.
Yeah,
I've always betted on Derek, but seeing the body of Samson, in the past couple of years, the way he grew, everything in place, symmetrical, beautiful body. And you know what? Next is shredding. The shredding should be easy, should be done. When he's done, I tell you, I think it's going to be difficult for Hadi Chopin and Derek to take him.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
mean, Samson got second last year at the Arnold too to Hadi, and he won Mr.
Yeah.
Olympia. So. Doesn't mean he's
I
not
think-
going to win Mr. Olympia again.
I think you can make like the same argument with the whole Derek situation. Like I think with his shortcomings at the Olympia, with everything he went through, all the trials and tribulations, I think it's why we were able to see, that fire lit under him and him perform so well at the Arnold. So you can really make the same argument for like Samson. And I think we've seen, we haven't seen Derek do that. It's the first time seeing Derek do that, to where I feel like we've seen Samson do that time and time again. So I'm looking forward to the comeback for all of them. Hadi as well. Honestly, bringing up Hadi is great because.
Not only that, I think Derek could be sharper yet. Derek,
Yeah, I agree.
Better than usual, but Derek could be sharper. You know why? You know how about I make that decision? Wow. Compare Derek quality, okay, to Logan quality. So you'll know there's room for improvement. Okay? So if Logan gets this shredded, I mean, they all can be this shredded. They can. But you have to find a way to do it. Yeah. And I know Chris Aceto is great at what he does. He knows.
You got to find the way to do it.
He knows how to draw the line. Yeah, it's just it's related to again, we always talk about it: fluid and electrolyte management, loading properly, eliminate all the fat off your body, and peak properly.
Right.
And this is what Logan was. Logan was shredded before the show, but he peaked right. So what did he do? It's simple. He loaded properly. He got rid of all the body fat, and it was clear. And 3 days before the show, he didn't look great. When he loaded up, it was incredible. He came in alive. Mm-hmm. This is what happened to me in '82 Olympia, Jean. I swear to God, 3 days before I left to London, I looked in the mirror. There was nothing. You can't see one cut on my body. I was as flat as a pancake. Nothing. In fact, Mike Mentor looked at me and he said, "Oh, don't worry, you're just flat right now," which is, I know I was flat. And then I start loading up properly. Oh my God, everything comes alive. I was like, I was probably the most shredded. I was more shredded in '82 than '83. Look at the pictures.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
And so, peaking is really not a rocket science, man. It's simple. I think a lot of people complicate things and try too hard and they get worked out. Dude, you're not going to get fat. Just load the right way. Eat the right way. Rest. Relax your mind. Just sometimes your mind alone and worrying about show makes you watery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's why you need to calm down, relax. Like what I know, like Lee Haney used to sit down. He used to actually eat for 3 days. He'd sleep in his room and Shirley feed him and rest. And he won Miss Olympia fucking 8 times.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The hard work is done. Once you're shredded, you're not going to get fat the final 72 or even more hours. 3-4 days, you could load and relax and watch everything happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 1 milligram fat on your body. That is if you load properly and rest. It's not
what do you think Andrewjacked needs for the future?
I was just gonna ask that. I wanted to ask, especially with the back. I was trying not to cut off. I wanted to ask that question, especially when it came to the back shots, because I feel like we saw a really good. We saw one that, like, not comparing to Texas, I think that was one of the best Andrews we've seen. But as far as what we saw someone who could have easily almost been right there neck and neck with Samson on night one. So I wanted to ask, what do you think he could do to bring up, like, just more so from the back? Because I think that's what's holding, aside from posing and certain things like that, but from the back shots with those legs, like the lack of separation with the hamstrings. Like, what is the best advice for Andrew in this situation to come up and bring that up? Because we've seen Samson do it. Like, we've seen Samson look like how Andrew's been presenting himself as of recent, and now he looks more on par with, like, a Derek when it comes to, like, how the hamstrings are dug out and things of that. So what would you say to Andrew?
Can I ask you a quick question? Andrew wasn't coached by Aceto this time, was he?
Yeah, he was.
He was.
For that show.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
everybody was saying, oh, when Hani was coaching Derek and Hani and Hadi, it felt like there's a conflict of interest. You coaching two guys that competing against each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I know Chris Aceto's intention is one of the most wonderful people. I know Chris is great. He's sincere. He loves people. He help them in the healthiest way possible. But I don't know what it is. I still don't like. I don't like his presentation, and I know he can be sharper. I know he can be sharper. I, I don't know why his body wasn't as responsive, but I mean, his body is beautiful. I really love his body, and he's complete. He's complete. But I'm gonna tell Chris that we need to work on these guys' better presentation. These guys are not presenting, or they need to spend more time. I'm aware that I think Chris, what's his name? Chris, who was
Lewis.
helping?
Psycho Lewis.
No, who's helping Chris
Premier.
Aceto?
Premier.
Oh, that's what I heard. Chris Cormier was on board and helping. I don't know how much time did Chris spend with these guys because Chris is a good poser. And I'm not talking about helping them with a posing routine. You got to help these guys in each and every pose and help them with transition. This is not going to happen in 1 hour. You have to spend time with them, 3-4 sessions a week, 1 month prior to the show or more. And then really, once you build that beautiful body, you got to be up there like a ballerina. And I still see, no disrespect, but I still see the monkey business happening on stage. Derek, I see a lot of fault in his posing. I see a lot of fault in Andrewjack's posing. I didn't see a lot of fault in Samson. And I have to say, I've always put money on Derek to win because I know Derek's body is capable. He needs to work on his posing a little bit more. No disrespect. I know he's Mr. Olympia. He's Arnold Classic champion. But put more time on presentation and look better. You need to show your body better.
So you think the only thing Samson needs is just better presentation? What about his physique? You think he needs anything with his physique?
His presentation could be improved, but he needs to get harder. He needs to get more shredded. He needs to get ultra shredded. So, I don't think he didn't reach his potential. No, he did not. His full potential, he hasn't reached that.
What do you think, Marcus?
With Samson, as far as what can make him
I'm talking about Andrew.
With Andrew, I mean, I don't know what the detriment is when it comes to the back shots. I think he's right there with them when it comes to the front shots. I think that you can, put it to a lack of posing when it comes to some of the side shots. I really do like his side tricep he's doing right now, personally. Not a fan of the side chest, but when it comes to the back shots, I don't know if it's already spending more time on the machines, the workouts that you aren't doing. If he needs to bring up his adductors, something that can make some type of thickness come from those legs because they're pretty small from the back. There's no separation with the hamstrings. You don't see anything to be desired. I mean, even Brandon Curry, you can argue, had better back shots than Andrew, especially up top. So I wouldn't know if it's just simply just bringing up the legs the same way that Samson has, or if it's a genetic thing as far as just the muscles back there aren't being shown correctly. I'm not sure.
You're talking about the hamstrings?
Yeah, the hamstrings aren't Andrew. They don't show up. There's only one little part that you see any type of separation from. So I don't know if that could be considered posing or it's just if it's an issue with the skin, just not enough back there showing anything, but literally nothing really showcases itself when it comes to the hamstrings. When it comes to any type of separation.
Marcus, I've been around a lot of bodybuilder, and I have to be honest with you. Logan and I are good friends. This guy is extremely, extremely passionate. Extremely. I'm going to tell you like it is. Logan practicing posing months before. Practicing. And he's possessed about being shredded. He's possessed about being great. And you know what? Sometimes you try too hard and you don't. But once you hit that, put it right on the money, we all, I noticed, we all were impressed. So let's do that with everybody else. I don't think Andrewjacked isn't incredible. I think he's really good. Beautiful body, great presence, but he need to be etched to the bone. He need to have masterful posing. And I don't care. You go to diet coaches, get you in shape, but there's a flaws in certain area. You need to approach bodybuilding from all angle. Body has to be etched to the bone. Presentation has to be perfect, and this is how you become superstar. Like for example, if you look at a guy like Regan Grime, Regan Grime. Regan has the body. I'm not bullshitting, blowing hot air. Regan can be on stage, and guess what? He could be right there with Samson and Derek and Hadi Chopin. He's got the body. I think if Regan Grime come in shredded to the bone, let's say it this way: if he comes in Logan shredded, guess what? He'll win Mr. Olympia when he have the right presentation. So don't underestimate some of the guys that they're not in the winner's circle right now, but there's a lot of great guys out there. And I'm taking Regan Grime is one of them, for example. Regan is great. How much did we talk about what's his name? Quizzo. Quizzo is another guy who has it all, John. If he comes in etched to the bone with a masterful presentation, guess what? He's in the winner's circle. But you and I know, John, if you don't apply all of that, look, for example, we are from the old school. You did it, John. You did it, and you showed everyone at 60 years of age, you train hard, you put tremendous effort into your competition, and look at how much better you look. So, no, I don't want to hear excuses. Everyone can get in super duper shredded condition. And when you have a body like Regan Grime, when you have a body like Samson, Derek, I mean, come on, anything is possible. Any of these guys can win the Olympia, from my perspective, any of them. And they're all complete. I mean, you look at Regan, what's his weakness? He doesn't have weaknesses. Derek, he doesn't have weaknesses. Samson, he doesn't have weaknesses. And these three are put together in a very harmonious way. They have like beautiful muscle belly and they flow fantastic. You know who's beating them? Who less blessed with genetic, beating them? His name, Hadi Chopin.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because Hadi is bringing etched stomach, superior legs, and you go on stage hard like a rock. And guess what? You don't take your eyes off of Hadi Chopin, because he's a great champion. He comes in ready, right? Marcus, am I saying bullshit or it's true? Guys like Hadi Chopin comes in, ripped abs, striated chest, great thighs, striated thighs. And guess what? Stand up right away in the winner's circle. Derek didn't bring that. He suffered. He came in 4th place last Olympia. He made the changes with Aceto. Guess what? He jumped into the winner at Arnold Classic, deservingly. And the minute I saw a photo of Derek, I said, Derek won. He won because I knew right there. So, anyway, John.
So with Andrew, like John, with Andrew, what do you think could help him, John? I know you as far as with more so the legs to me personally, the back shots.
Yeah, I mean, if Scott could run that video of Andrew again, I mean, I don't understand why the judges are so hard on this guy. Honestly, I think he's a freak, and I think he's got an incredible physique, and I don't know. It seems like he's always judged so harshly. I mean, I thought he was way better here than he was at the Olympia. He's tall, he's wide, he's got an unbelievable structure. He's got that kind of skin quality where the muscles are just popping. I mean, look at his abs. Now you compare him to like someone like Samson. Samson rarely has abs like this.
Wow,
I mean, look at these poses. I mean, look at his back. Yeah, I agree with you on the hamstrings. The hamstrings could be more detailed, more etched. But look at his back.
Yeah,
that back is crazy. He's got crazy shoulders. He's got big arms. He's got wide shoulders. He's got a small waist. He's got high calves, but they're gigantic. They're popping. I think, like Samir said, I think his posing could be better. He could, he's a good poser. I mean, he does splits and he can move his body in a lot of ways for a big man that a lot of guys can't. Look at that side tricep. Look at just how the muscularity just pops out. And when he hits like a most muscular. It's just things are just popping all over with this guy. He's got that separation. I mean, I just think that my only thing is he's so tall and his frame is so big. I think he could still add more muscle. Like I think his
so.
back could be thicker. But look at that.
You know what,
This guy is
John?
a freak.
Honestly,
I just don't understand. Like I look at the scorecards, he got straight thirds. Really?
You know what? Honestly, John, I didn't see that video. Now I'm looking at the video. He looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The only thing I fault him in some of them, he can be better yet. He can.
Yeah.
And yeah, his frame can handle another probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
I think
always
his legs
about
could be a little bigger. I think his back could be a little thicker.
He can be more ripped yet, John, in my opinion. But you see the way in his posing routine, and I know you guys were impressed by his posing routine. And during that routine, you know, he let his stomach from the side. This routine hurt him, didn't help him, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I mean,
open up for flaws.
You know, he's not perfect. He does need to improve some of the positioning and the posing. Yeah. But I just think he's harshly judged. He's harshly judged. I mean, Samson can come in with watery abs. No offense to Samson, but he can come in with watery abs on Friday and take a close second to Derek, who's peaked. And then Samson or Andrew comes in rock hard with great structure, great size, great fullness, and he's straight thirds. I don't know. I just don't understand why he's being judged so harshly.
Well, I think the flow on the body of Derek and Samson, they a little bit better in the overall flow. I mean, don't take me wrong. I'm impressed with Andrew's body, and he's like wide and tall, and I think he's really showing some of his flaws on his body when he's presenting his body. Like in his overall posing routine, we saw that we're sitting. You could see his waist got even wider. But you got to be very professional. You don't want to get caught in one pose that shows something wrong with your body.
Yeah, but his waist is no wider than Samson's, and Samson's abs were washed out on Friday, and Samson places way above him. Every judge puts Samson ahead of this guy, and this guy's hard as a rock.
Yeah, but John, show me pictures of Samson where he let his stomach go like he did, which is I saw it in routine several times.
What about conditioning? Doesn't that count for anything?
Yeah, but I think his condition is really not way better than Samson. Maybe
I disagree.
Well, you know, I mean, you were there, but I mean, I would take Samson's body over his body when it comes to flow. If you ask me, Samir, which body you want to pick? You know,
yeah, but I mean,
take Andrew or Samson, I would say I want
there's
Andrew's
a lot of great bodybuilders who have great symmetry and flow, but if they don't come in condition, they're marked down for it.
Yeah, I think he's just not superiorly shredded. He's good. He's in really good shape, but I see more improvement.
I could see Samson placing ahead of him on Saturday, but on Friday, to not even have Andrew in the mix, I just didn't. I don't know. I don't see it.
You could see him second.
Time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but body-wise and flow-wise, I think Samson is really the body cannot be faulted other than improving its quality.
I just don't understand why Andrew's held to such high standards. And
Samson is a big, pretty body.
That he has.
Samson is big, pretty body. It's the only reason why Samson isn't winning right now. He's not polished to the
look at that
level.
Look at that pose. You don't think Andrew stands out there?
No, he does. But again, not every photo tells you the exact story. But I mean, look at Derek's waist looks smaller than both of them. When the double biceps, look at the double biceps again. Look at Derek's waist is smaller than both.
Look how much wider Andrew is.
Look at his rib cage. Derek looked bigger. Derek's frame is for someone who's 6'3". I swear.
Right. So right here, I would add Derek first, Andrew second, Samson third.
Derek is doing the pose perfect right there.
Right. Yeah, I would have had him in first.
Doing it right.
I would have had Andrew second.
Not in all poses, though. I'm telling you, when I see something, I'm going to say it like it is. Derek, in that photo, looks good. Like, you know, the side tricep. I like Samson's body, and you know, Derek is more striated, and then Andrewjacked is freak. Looks good. I mean, they're all good. But if you look at the overall, at Samson from the side, from the back, from the front, he's got pretty. I don't see obvious weaknesses. I just don't see 24K quality. And they can't say, oh, Samir is bullshitting. You know what? If they say Samir is bullshitting, compare your body to Logan Franklin and then come and tell me if I'm bullshitting.
See, now in
There's
this
room for
pose,
quality.
I could see Andrew needs more muscle. He needs more thickness in the back.
Yeah.
And I think Samson's rear double bi has come up a lot in the last year or two.
Yeah.
That used to be his weak. That used to be his weak pose, and it's really come up.
He
and
used to look like how Andrew kind of looks
on this pose all day long.
Yeah,
Derek is doing that pose perfect right there.
Yeah, it's
he's
got the best rear double bicep in bodybuilding.
That pose on Derek, the way he put his right foot back, it has more drama in it and great back, shoulder to waist, beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think Andrew's doing it right. He's opening his legs wide. Samson is doing good, but that pose go to Derek right there. Easy.
Yeah.
Got to give credit to Samson though for bringing this up to this level though, because I do feel like Samson used to have a very similar. He used to kind of look like how Andrew looks here, and he's really stepped his game up here, especially with the hamstrings, with the leg placement, and everything. Like there's a lot of thickness that wasn't there two years ago.
We always give him a credit because we know that Samson is a badass bodybuilder. He's a great champion. I mean, we just know we're not bullshitting when we say the reason why he's not winning because that onion skin is not 100% there yet. It's not there.
Who do y'all give this front lat spread to? Off the picture. I'm just going off of it.
Probably
I don't think Samson finished with that pose. He's still in the middle of the pose. But Derek, in that photo, I go with Derek. But then again...
I think Samson and Andrew both need to learn how to spread their lats better from the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially Samson.
Yeah.
I think we should one day have a Frank Zane on board. I would love to see Frank Zane talk about it. And believe me, Frank would tell you, look, for the height of Samson and the symmetry of Samson, the flow, the outer thighs, he have everything. His calf looks good. His body flows very good. I mean, in that picture right there, I don't think, Andrew is completed the pose yet, but easily Derek and Samson take him in that pose. And yes, Derek win that pose in that photo. So I think Samson hasn't finished spreading his lat yet. I could like to see more photo, but I mean, come on. Derek won deservingly, and we're not disagreeing with that. Right away. Because you could see fibers here, striation there, legs are improved.
Yeah, he was cut and full, and he was polished.
I think that's why as soon as he came out, Arnold went on, like, as soon as we saw him, I never seen Arnold go to a stage that quick. Like, he was first whatever, he was there. So I knew right there, shoot, it's going to be a long night for Samson and the rest of them.
Oh, yeah. I right away when I saw Derek, I'm like, wow. And by the fact he was way better than Olympia, I said, oh my God, he's gone. He done it.
Yeah,
and on night one, he just...
I just told him, I go, that was an amazing comeback because you're putting it on the line when you come back. He could have just sat out the whole year and waited for the Olympia again, tried to repeat, but he look back at
the record.
And he did it.
Yeah. John, look back at the record, and I said Derek would win, didn't I? Look back. When we said your opinion, who's going to win. And I put Derek on front, didn't I? I did.
I thought we all picked Samson, but I don't know.
Automatic. No, I didn't.
I
said Derek. Well, you have a record. Did you write it down?
No, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I said Derek.
We'll have Scott pull the tape.
Samson, Derek, Andrewjacked, and Brandon.
Yeah, Samson, Derek. So you had Samson first, right?
Yeah, that's another show. I have some notes here, but I don't know. See, I made note in here, but I don't know. It wasn't for the Arnold Classic. I always automatically think Derek would take it if he comes in ready, and he was ready.
Yeah, he was ready. It was a great victory for him.
Yeah, I mean, no brainer. The guy have no weaknesses.
Won 510,000.
That's crazy.
Not bad.
No,
not bad. Not bad at all.
So do you
I'm
think
happy
that
for him?
My bad. Do
Go
you
ahead.
think that Logan? So say like Logan and Derek, they both. I mean, Logan especially. Like this is clearly the best Logan we've ever seen. Do you
Yeah.
think them coming in the way they did, so setting that bar so high, similar to how we saw with Wesley? Do you think how do you think that could be a detriment to them going into like the next big show like the Olympia? Because now, okay, we've seen this great Derek, similar to how we saw Samson to Olympia, so we can't help to compare it to Samson at the Olympia, to where like, oh, he's a little off compared. So do you think it could be a detriment looking at it in that fashion?
Well,
Look,
I think Derek and Samson, I think they both need to. I mean, this is only March. The
Yeah,
Olympia's not till October. They need to rest. They need to just, it's hard doing the Arnold and then going right back into or the Olympia and then going right back into the Arnold. Very few people can peak for both. And sometimes the people that peak at the Arnold, by the time they get to the Olympia, they miss. Like Hadi was not as good at the Olympia last year as he was at the Arnold. You can't
yeah.
hit that kind of peak twice in 1 year. It's
well,
really hard.
I think
So
was
I think
very
they need
smart.
to. I think they both need to relax, take a month off, and then gear up slowly for the Olympia. In
I
order to peak.
agree, and you know what? I think Hardy is very smart for sitting this out one out.
Yeah,
Let your body unwind. Let your receptor,
yeah,
reboot everything in your body. And guess what? He will come in better. You remember when Dorian Yates used to compete once a year? For what reason? Because he
yeah,
let the body recover and then do it, take his time and do it, come in and throw a bomb. And I
yeah. If
think
you look at the
this is,
history of all the guys that have done the Arnold and then the Olympia, I mean, it's hard to hit your peak for both.
yeah, look at Samson. I think look at Hadi Chopin probably would look probably as good as ever, maybe better than ever, because he rested his body and he's doing smart move. You can't abuse your body. When you abuse your body become less responsive. Let's talk about the fact that when your receptor gets saturated from taking the gear, you will not work. You have to change everything. The medication you were using, we'll talk about it being blunt here. Talk about it. If you take, let's say, certain medication, let's say you're taking Winstrol, and I'm going to say it like it is, or you're taking whatever, any medication, yeah, your receptor is going to get used to it, and it's not going to be effective unless you get off of it for at least 7 to 8 months. You got to allow rest so your body come back and recover, and then when you take it again, boom, it works.
Yeah.
I think Samson needs to rest
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
big time. Yeah.
And how many months we have until the
'Cause he
Olympia?
does the Arnold and the Olympia every year.
But how many months until the Olympia from now?
I feel like seven or eight or so. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I would,
7.
I would take 1 month of cleansing and drop everything completely out. Take any medication you're using, stay away from it for at least 5 months
Yeah.
if you want it to work again. I'm just saying, we're talking bodybuilding here.
Yeah.
But again, it was a great show. Just looking at it from here, I'm sure you enjoyed it more being there, Sean.
Yeah. It was a
But
great show.
honestly, the
One of the best
highlight
ones.
of the highlight of the show, it was like for me, Derek coming back looking this good. I know Sean Ray, and I know what's his name. They were talking. They were saying, that Derek probably didn't make a good move. I think Bob
Oh, with
Chicarello
Samir.
was saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, I think it's not a smart move that Derek went with Chris Aceto right now because his body is used to do whatever with Hani." But I guess it didn't. It went the right way.
Oh yeah, it definitely went the right way.
I
Yeah.
saw Chris getting his rocks off and the after, and he kept
Yeah.
on making
Well,
little subtle shots like, I'm not a coach, I'm not a this, I don't know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
talking
Not a trainer.
I know Sean and Chris don't like each other right now. I mean,
Right.
come on, guys, lighten up. It's all bodybuilding to me, and I don't care. Best man win. And I'm gonna say it like it is. I think Chris Aceto is a very safe coach. He knows what he's doing. Have plenty of experience, and that's all I could say. And Sean Ray is my buddy. I love Sean. But I'm not gonna take side here, but I think Derek made the right decision,
Definitely.
and I think Samson need to, with his wife, they need to figure out what's next to improve that quality. I mean, I'm sure his wife is very smart. They both are very intelligent. They need to find a way. There is a way, John. I'm telling you, there is a way.
Yeah.
And then if that happened, you know, he's gonna go all the way to the bank at the Mr. Olympia again. If
Yeah,
he
I think
get
I
that
think
on your
it's
schedule.
all in his hands for sure.
It is. It is. It's a matter of like decorate properly.
Yeah.
Right. Right. It's like it's everybody's winning by on quality. I mean, look, uh, again, I say one of the good highlight of the week is also Logan. I mean, Logan bring in something, and I said, Logan, who cares? Just come in, be at your best, and let the whole world of bodybuilding talk about you. Even if they don't give you the show, prove it to the world that you are the champion who always wanted to be on top of the world. And you know what? Even if you come in second place, you still get more respect than anybody. And I think he did.
You did, yeah. Oh yeah, you gained a lot of
He
respect.
did. I think Logan kicked ass all over the place. And,
Yeah, he made
again,
a
I'm not
statement,
saying
for sure.
congratulations to Mike Badass. I think he was good, but I'm like, my money was on Logan. And congratulations for Derek. And, may the best man win always. And I wish Samson the best too. Come back better than ever. And that's it,
Yep. Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up there. And it was a great weekend. I'm glad I got to see it. When we meet
sure
again,
you did.
we'll start talking about the Pittsburgh Pro because that's coming up next, and
When is
that's going
that,
to be a
John?
big show for sure. I think that'll be in May.
Yeah, so the
What
first
about
week of May.
what about
May
the
10th.
New York Pro? Isn't the New York Pro was Nick Walker going to compete in?
It's a
That'll
week
be
after
after
that
that,
one.
I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a week
When
after.
is that, John? I want to go and watch it.
I think it was Marcus a week or two after.
Yeah, it's I think it's May 11th or May 10th, and then May 17th, I believe, is the New York
Oh,
Pro.
it's
Right
about
after the
in
Pittsburgh.
May sometime. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be good. I want to see Nick Walker making a comeback
Yeah.
without his coach and be shredded.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I want Nick Walker to prove everybody that he can still do it.
I think he
Still
will.
do it. He doesn't need coach, man. Just come in, focus, get shredded to the bone. And I keep telling him, usually he doesn't have problem getting ripped, but come in shredded, pose better, and you know what? He's gonna be ready and more
I
impressive.
think he's being coached by that guy Kyle, the one who coaches
Yeah,
all the younger
Kevin.
dudes, the
Yeah.
influencers.
Yeah.
Nick Walker
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, some Kyle. I forgot his last name. Kyle. He
Yeah.
Mhm.
tends to
He's
train or
talking
coach a lot
about-
of the. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Walker is very eager and he's very passionate. I see him looking better than ever, and so, I know some people write him off like, oh, he's never gonna do this, never gonna do that. Just be more masterful. I think he will rise. He'll do great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, guys. Well, we'll call it a wrap on this one, and we'll talk next week.
sounds good.
All right,
Good
y'all.
seeing you guys.
All right.
Always.
See you guys.
Enjoy.
Bye, guys.